Hey guys, this is Blaine with Stock Trade Trading, and we're going to be looking at a couple stocks here for September the 4th. First one here, NSU. Tried to break through 4 here on Friday. I'm looking for a continuation over the high of day of Friday, about 406. And looking for maybe even 10% out of this thing this coming week. I'm actually currently long NSU and will be holding it as long as it can hold above 4. EMMS, nice move on Friday, looking for follow through. Needs over about 257 or so to keep going. Might even get a, if it opens weak and then bust through that to red to green, then that'd probably be worth longing it as well. GTGP, mentioned this a couple days ago on the watch list to watch over about 93, 94 area. Sure enough, popped all the way to 130 almost. Nonetheless, could have more, and again, setting up here. If it gets back over 120, I wouldn't be surprised to see it test those highs from that day. So another potential long setup there. ZLC, I'm still short biased on this thing. Obviously, it blew through that and took off on Friday. Wasn't expecting it, but I did alert it in chat. I actually said that if it broke the high there pretty quickly, it was going to go higher, and sure enough, it got 10% after that. So there was definitely money to be made on the long side. Now, basically the same idea. Looking for basically a quick spike and then sign of weakness to short the thing. Obviously, I didn't get that on Friday. I did a members video on why I changed my bias to the long side there on Friday morning. So please review that and let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'm still, well, I guess I'm reiterating that ZLC is a short watch here now. NTE surprisingly holding up very well, considering our short bias on this one as well. Nonetheless, if it gets over 240, 1040, it'll actually go higher. Otherwise, I'll be waiting on this thing to fade below this uptrend line to take it to the short side, unless we get some major parabolic move towards 11 or 12. HOV, watch this sucker to test 3 this week and then bust through and maybe even go ahead and test those 52-week highs there, about 330 for 10%. DXCM broke range here from June to July peaks, now over that 1310 area. Basically what I'm looking for here is just follow through and then test this 52-week high here about 1370 or so. Definitely am bullish on DXCM. THLD, nice move last week. Talked about it in chat a few times. Nonetheless, it might be ready for a pullback. I wouldn't be surprised to see it bounce off the 9 area and then pull back and then bust through that 9 spot. So I'm basically keeping a watch on this thing to see if it can consolidate below this 9 area and then bust through it later on this week. I mean, heck, who knows? I might blow through it tomorrow and run big, but I mean, if it does, we'll be all over it. But nonetheless, that's probably the play there, is to watch it consolidate first and then bust through 9. TC, one of these metals stocks here, gold, silver, all those resources. Those are getting hot right now. Watch this 292 spot. I don't necessarily like weird numbers like 292, but that's just where the range is on this one. So if I can get through 292, it should easily clear 3 and head back towards his previous resistance level there, about 310 or so. Virtual Piggy, VPIG. It's been consolidating just below 150 the past few days. Wouldn't be surprised to see it finally close above 150 and then head back towards 180 in the coming days. Definitely is known to run, as you can see back in May when it was heavily got a heavy Momo run there. APCB, just gotta throw this one out there. Huge volume Friday and crazy 40% run there. basically, I would like to see, if you're going to play to the long side, you would prefer to see it open relatively weak and then go green, as buyers still may push it higher. Obviously, if it gaps up, sellers will probably take over at that point and lock in profits, forcing it down. Otherwise, we'll be looking for an intraday setup there just to see what it gives us, either long or short. Probably not too much short. I mean, it's an OTC stock, so nonetheless, I had to throw a PCB out there just because of the action it had on Friday. And finally, ALXA, looking for the 5 break in the coming days. Definitely has room to 6 at least, and their FDA stuff is coming up later this fall, so it could get a run into those announcements or bad news or whatever it turns out to be. A lot of these biotechs like to run into that kind of news just to let people gamble on them to see which way it goes. So nonetheless, ALXA should go higher if it can get through 5. There's your watch list for September 4th. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you in the chat room.